Welcome to Star Family Tarot. Your intuition led you here. The theme for this video is, what lessons are you moving through at this time? This is a timeless message, so whenever you find this video, there will be something here for you. And I have 3 cards to choose from with 3 corresponding crystals. Before choosing a card or crystal that you're drawn to, be sure to take a deep breath and ask your spirit guide team to help you choose which card is right for you at this time. They love to help, but you've got to ask. And if you found this channel, you are an old soul, probably a light worker, so welcome. Remember, this is a general reading, so trust your intuition, and if something doesn't fit, then it's not for you, or it may connect later on. So for card number 1, we have a rose quartz heart. And card number 2, we have an opalite heart. And card number 3, we have a lapis lazuli heart. So pause the video if you need to. The timestamps are in the description box below for each reading, and I'll see you in your reading. Hello, card number 1. If you chose the first card out of the 3 and this rose quartz heart, then this message is for you. So I went ahead and pulled a card for you to represent the overall general energy for the theme of what lessons are you moving through, and I channeled a message for you about that card. So first of all, I will read that to you. Then we will pull some more tarot to dive in a little deeper. Then we will pull a clarifying oracle card to clarify. And we will end with a Lightworker oracle card. So, moving right along. Whoop. We have the Hanged Muse. The Hanged Muse. In this deck, there are no men, so, but in the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith deck, this would be the Hanged Man. This energy reminds me of the chrysalis form. It is a transitory period necessary for transformation. In the journey of the tarot, this card comes right before the death card. Perhaps the caterpillar thinks it will die before it emerges as a butterfly. This is the time to surrender and ask yourself what part of you needs to die so you can transform. What part of you is no longer in alignment with the version of you that you're stepping into? The meaning of the word death in Aramaic, the language of Jesus, translates as to be present elsewhere. This is why we shouldn't resist the nature of death, because it is simply the bridge between what has been and what will be. This energy of the Hanged Man invites us to accept where we are in our lives currently and to be curious without judgment, if it is possible to shift our perspective. Hence why this muse is upside down. She is speaking spiritual wisdom and enlightenment. She knows that she cannot carry the body of the caterpillar on the wings of her butterfly body. So to prepare, she must shed what is no longer serving her highest good, to release old patterns and wounding that cannot ascend with her as she prepares to reach for higher vibrational states. Love this. Very spiritually inclined card here. The lesson might be about listening as well as surrendering, listening to your intuition. All right, let's pull some more tarot. card number one need to know? What the lessons they're moving through. Lessons for card number one. What can you tell us about the lessons card number one is moving through? The Four of Voices, which is the Four of Swords in the traditional tarot, in your past position. Ace of Emotions in your current energy. The Hierophant in your challenge position. Very interesting. The Chariot in your advice. And Death in your outcome. Love this. This is also chrysalis vibes here. So it makes sense that this would naturally come after the Hanged Muse. Don't fear the Death card, y'all. Stay with me, card number one. There are positive sides to every card. I view the Death card favorably. Okay, diving right in. So this tells me that you are in the midst of or about to enter into a great time of change and transformation, which is really exciting. We're here on this planet to grow, to transform, to evolve, to embody more of the soul here while we are in our physical bodies, to see if we can bring more of our soul online while we're in this physical body. But I digress. So with the Four of Voices in your past position, this tells me that you are just coming out of a time possibly of deep self-reflection, of recuperation, possibly after something challenging, some challenging period of life. This is like a need for contemplation, for being with yourself, for being in your own energy, for spending more time in meditation, just really hitting the pause button. So you could have been, like I said, recuperating from something that was really challenging for you, a challenging situation or relationship. It feels like you have, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana cards here, which is signifying a massive time in your life. Like this is, I'm sure, a very fated time for you. Like you might be going through, a lot of times when people think that they want a spiritual awakening or undergo a spiritual awakening, it can be perceived as this beautiful, magical, light-filled, fairy dust type of time. But usually it can be pretty excruciating because it's peeling off layers that are very sticky within our being. These layers of conditioning, of belief systems, of maybe even, it could be as simple as something that your mother said to you when you were 3 years old, and your subconscious just really held on to that, and just letting go of those things that they might not have even meant to be harmful for you, but your little 3-year-old self perceived it a certain way and stored it into your belief system, and now this belief system is kind of crumbling. I feel like I'm jumping ahead here. So let's just go ahead and move on to the Ace of Emotions. This is in your current energy, which in the traditional tarot is like the Ace of Cups, which I love. It's this wellspring of emotional fulfillment, of new beginnings, particularly in the emotional realms. It can signify a surge of emotions, the start of a new relationship, or a deepening of existing emotional connections. It could also be a deepening in your relationship with yourself, of allowing yourself to feel possibly for the first time on a much deeper level. If you're like me and you're a big feeler, I ran from my feelings for a long time. So to allow yourself to feel so deeply can be really refreshing and invigorating for sure. Especially if you've been in a period of difficulty and you're emerging from that now, it can feel like, oh, I'm coming up for air. I'm coming up for air and I'm in tune with my emotional needs, with giving my emotional self what it needs to be fulfilled, providing that for yourself. So, yeah, for some of you, this could be a new relationship coming online here. But I would say this would only be for people that, if it is a relationship that is coming online now, it's part of your higher purpose path, because now you're more available to be present in an emotionally mature relationship. You've done some work here, some inner work. You're attempting to better yourself. You're attempting to come back more into wholeness, into the home of yourself. And so more of you is available to be present in a relationship. That could also apply for those of you in existing relationships, or even in deepening your friendships. You're allowing more of yourself to be seen, to be witnessed, because you're allowing yourself to witness yourself. So this is really well done here. In the challenge position, you have the Hierophant, which can often represent tradition, conformity, established belief systems. That's why I said I was jumping ahead a little bit here, because it feels like you might be coming up against some existing belief systems, even though traditionally this card would be read like institutions. So it also could be that you're feeling restricted by societal norms or struggling with conforming to traditional expectations that society might have for you. Alternately, if for some of you, you have been contemplating stepping into a role that would be, yes, non-conforming, yes, it would be like maybe more on the alternative side of spirituality, because the Hierophant is also like the the conduit between heaven and earth. So if you've been wanting to guide people in any type of spiritual capacity, but you're unsure if you have the resources within to do it, this is your sign that you can. This is your sign that you have that available within you, that your intuition is strengthening, And the inner work that you've gone through might be so you can serve others who are going through that now. All you have to do is be one step ahead of the people that you're trying to serve, and you can be of value to them, to guide them, to be the lighthouse, to show them the path. But if this is regarding relationships, maybe you are seeking or contemplating entering a relationship that isn't sanctioned by society. I'm so grateful that we're in this time where these traditional expectations that society has are ultimately crumbling. So if your soul chose, since your soul chose to be here on earth at this time, you're not here to conform. You're here to be part of that shift. And it's a big one. And in the advice position is the Chariot, which I'm being called to how these rays of light are emitting from her solar plexus. Her solar plexus, which is that determination, that willpower, that knowing who you are at your core, right? It's that inner resolve. So with this being in your advice position, it's like realize who you are, realize your divinity, realize what you have to offer, and prepare to move forward because it will be successful. This is suggesting that you need to harness your inner strength here and focus on the goals ahead, and to use your determination to overcome any obstacles, even if they are mental, even if they are elusive or not necessarily tangible, like so many of our challenges are. But how can you begin or continue momentum? How can you take one foot forward towards your goals every day? How can you step more fully into the relationships that you're cultivating now with just one small step every day, and focus on the momentum? I think sometimes it can be really overwhelming when we think about the grandiosity of our goals, or because then we start to think about, well, how could I possibly get from where I am now to 1,000 steps over there? Well, you do that with taking one step. So let's focus on the next 5 steps. And then the path might be revealed that you get to take an airplane the rest of the way, instead of not even beginning on the journey because you think you have to walk all 1,000 steps by yourself. That's what's so beautiful about being in alignment with your intuition, is that you're moving forward with only part of the path illuminated on this journey of life, right? But you have such this this faith, this inner knowing that you'll get exactly where you need to go. If you just keep moving, then the universe will meet you there halfway. And it could turn out to be easier, grander, greater than you could have ever written for yourself, or created that reality for yourself, when it's being orchestrated by forces bigger or more than just your egoic self, rather. And that's also kind of harkening back to this hanged muse, this calling into your lesson of surrendering that the forces that are working on your behalf are able to see from vistas that you cannot with your human eyes. Really beautiful. And finally, we have the Death card, which is so funny that this is also depicted like this cocoon and type of energy here and this transformation. This really shouldn't be even called death, but rather transformation. This is a major, indicating just like a major change or transition in your life where something old is making way for something new. And that it looks like it's either an ecstasy or excruciating pain. You get to choose, perhaps. Um, this the way that this newness is being born. So this could be, it seems like with the rest of your reading, it would be definitely a personal transformation of sorts. The end of a phase, the end of a way of being in the world, and maybe walking with more of your intuition, more of your capacity for feeling online, feeling more deeply. After death, there is always a new beginning. So the work that you've already been doing is ensuring you that your new beginning is just around the corner. But whatever this transformation is, it will be profound and you will never be the same again in the best possible way. Especially if you can let go of what society thinks of you or what you think society thinks of you. And you're just incredibly in tune with your intuition, what your goals are, what your personal goals are. And then when you can disregard what others are thinking about you, you'll be so magnetic for those that are like-minded. That's when you can find your true community. Beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and pull a clarifying oracle card, and if my style of reading resonates with you and you want to dive deeper into your specific situation, I do offer personal readings at this time. And you can find that info in the description box. This is a new channel, so if you did receive any helpful insights or clarity from the reading, please like, share, and subscribe for readings every week. Okay, card number 1. What lessons are they moving through? What can you tell us, the card number 1, please? Yeah, baby. Next level. If you leave your comfort zone, you will see accelerated growth and change. Expansion, explore, growth. Absolutely. You've contemplated your next move. You're shifting your perspective. You are leaving the comfort zone of playing it safe. You might do things that people don't understand, and that is perfectly okay. It's all about expansion, the expansion that the Death card brings into your new beginning. Absolutely beautiful. Finally, we will end with a Lightworker Oracle card. Final message here for card number 1, please. We just pulled this card last week. Spiritual Decree. You have been wondering what will happen next in your life, not realizing how much power you have to decide that for yourself. What do you wish to have happen next? Are you willing to use your divine birthrights of free will, voice and empowerment to set the cosmic wheels in motion? If your answer is yes, then it is time to speak your truth to the universe. Decree it, and you shall be it. You have been praying for help, asking for a map, and wanting directions. You are wise in the ways of the receptive, responsive approach to life. It is spiritually mature to trust the greater guiding power of the divine to direct your course, and yet the wishes in your heart are part of how that happens. Divine destiny is not something that just happens to you, but is something that you can co-create as a living spiritual being with free will and divine love beating in your heart. You are being honored for your ability to ask for guidance and wait for signs. You are being asked to set an intention and develop faith in yourself, to trust in what your heart yearns for, what you love so much that you're willing to go through the discomfort of growth to see it come to life. With the Hierophant. It's time for you to have the experience of seeing your intention blossom into manifestation. This does not mean that you have to make things happen. You are not responsible for how your manifestation occurs. The universe unfolds according to its own genius, of course. But you are responsible for the words, beliefs, and intentions you express that are the seeds of your personal creations. The universe then responds in its own wise and powerful way. When this oracle card comes to you, it is time to speak your truth. What does your heart truly yearn for? Focus on it and say it aloud. Don't be afraid to speak your dreams, desires, wishes, and fantasies. Sometimes it is only in daring to speak them aloud that we really understand what we want. This can be a terrifying, liberating, exciting, and life-changing moment. It's the moment that we grow into a spiritual adult, becoming willing to take responsibility for your own life. Will you speak your heart truths now? Feel your words moving through the energy from deep within, transforming your truth into sound and releasing it as intent into the universe. Don't worry about finding the perfect words. Just speak freely from your heart. Give yourself permission to express your deepest desires and then let go and trust. And there's an invocation here if you want to go ahead and take a picture of that invocation here if you want to explore this energy further, but I will leave it here for now. Wishing you so much support, love, and light on your journey, and I'll see you in the next reading. Bye for now. Hello, card number 2. If you chose the second card out of the 3 and this opalite heart, then this message is for you. So I went ahead and pulled a card in advance and channeled a message about that as the general theme for what lessons are you moving through. So I will kick things off by reading that to you. Then we will pull some more tarot to dive in a little bit deeper, followed by a clarifying oracle card to clarify those energies. And lastly, we will have a Lightworker Oracle card. So for you, number 2, we have the Devil as the lesson you're moving through. Don't fear the devil. Every card has a light and shadow side, and there are valid truths and gems to be gleaned from that. Just want to kick off by saying that. Don't leave me, card number 2. It's all going to be good. I think humanity has been dealt a great injustice to be made to believe that the devil is an external being. I believe the devil is a mental and emotional state of being, which means we are fully empowered to enter and exit this state of being. This is great news because you are a powerful creator. You are a powerful creator being with free will. This energy feels very sticky. It can look like being stuck in a victim narrative. You are the writer of your play, and you can liberate yourself from the disempowering narrative. This energy shows us what's holding us back, namely self-limiting beliefs. It can also symbolize dependencies or unhealthy attachments. Are there any habits, relationships, or thought patterns that you may need to break free from to reclaim your freedom? There also could be an invitation to explore shadow parts of self that could be denied or attempted to be hidden away by you based on shame. So many times, these parts we've deemed shameful just need to be witnessed and acknowledged to be released into the light of your loving awareness. This card can serve as a reminder that you are a divine, sovereign being who has ownership of self, your story, and your choices. True liberation comes from awareness and conscious choice. You have the power to shift into making positive changes now. So, we've all been there with self-limiting beliefs or maybe some unhealthy patterns. So let's pull some tarot to learn more. Card number 2. What lessons card number 2 moving into at this time, please? The 4 of Inspiration in the past position, just like the 4 of Wands in the traditional tarot. We have the 7 of Emotions or 7 of Cups in the current energy. The 6 of Inspiration in your advice position. Just like the 6 of, oh, this is like the 7 of Cups, 6 of Wands. I don't know if I said that. Page of Emotions or like the Page of Cups in your advice position. And Strength in your outcome. Love to see this. Okay, so in the past position, we have the 4 of Wands, which usually signifies like stability, celebration, and achievements. So with this being in your past position, it's suggesting that there was a period where you felt secure and accomplished during a time of harmony. So this could be still carrying forward into your current energy, but perhaps you've been contemplating a period of time where you were feeling like financially secure in your career, secure with your community, secure with just everything felt like it was, you had a stable foundation, right? Like that you had crossed over a finish line, you had the house, the white picket fence, that kind of vibe. Not literally, but it just felt like, okay, everything is exactly where it's supposed to be. It also, this card also can signify like marriage. So it could be maybe you're entering a time where a marriage or a committed relationship or the way that your family was structured is changing, or it's something that is no longer the same as it was within a marriage or family structure, if that makes any sense. Just for some of you, that won't apply to everyone since it's going to show up differently, but definitely like a celebratory time, or you may be looking back on the past as a celebratory time. And in your current energy, we have the 7 of Emotions, which is like the 7 of Cups. And this represents choices, like being overwhelmed with choices, like an analysis paralysis type of energy. But it also can indicate some illusions or fantasies existing as some of the options, right? Like maybe the symbolism in this card would be like she's trying to pick which fish, but this fish doesn't actually exist with this fin on its back. That's not real, so it's not really even an option for her at this time, which could be part of the overwhelm. It's almost like this need to find clarity, right? It's this need to, so if for the devil energy, if that part of that application for you is maybe an addiction or something that's borderline on addictive type of behavior, and addiction can be anything. It can be just scrolling on your phone, which can totally warp our sense of reality with the type of content that we're consuming, right? It could be to drugs and alcohol, of course, but those types of addictions are going to make it more difficult to find the clarity. So if we can examine those lovingly and see, like, okay, how is this having an impact on my life? How is this affecting my ability to show up? Then the fog can be lifted that this card brings. Sometimes it just feels kind of foggy with the types of choices. The other option with the Seven of Emotions could be that you might just need a bit of time to pass so more information can be provided for you to make a decision that is in your best and highest good, because possibly you don't have all of the details filled in yet. So this kind of indecision where you might be faced with many options or dreams, the advice for that, well, actually, let's not jump ahead. The challenge position or the hindrance there could be a clue for what's making it difficult to make a choice or to see the path ahead clearly. Could be this Six of Inspiration, which is like the Six of Wands, which is traditionally like this card of victory, of success, of public recognition, of being revered, celebrated, like having this prominent place, usually with career, or the work that you're producing in the world, or like even just public recognition, that type of energy. But since it's in your challenge position, it might suggest a fear of failure or this paralysis to even try because of this fear of failure. So it's definitely about like self doubt or self limiting beliefs or a struggle to receive recognition, like to even be like a struggle to even be in that receptive mode, like, those types of people who have like a really hard time receiving a compliment. It's like that, but on a grander scale. Like you're having a hard time receiving praise, recognition, that type of energy. So it looks like if you can work on any self doubt, like how can you create more confidence in what you're doing? How can you build your confidence in what you're doing? Then the fog might lift from this current energy of indecision. For some of you, it also could be like this fear of being seen, this fear of being in the limelight, this fear of being seen for who you truly are, which would cast fear on any decisions with your path moving forward. Especially if you had a more traditional type of past and now you're like, oh, well, actually, the things I want to do would make me feel a little bit vulnerable. So this is asking you, how can you allow yourself to be more seen and start with baby steps towards that? And in your current energy, we have the Page of Emotions, which is like the Page of Cups. And this is like the embodiment of this youthful, almost like this inner child energy, and this really positive, playful, curious, and coming from this place of wonderment, like looking at the world with fresh eyes. So, your advice would be to get in touch maybe with your inner child, bring some levity to your day. Today I went and played on a playground. Of course, I have a 3-year-old, so it was definitely more appropriate for me than others to be playing on a playground. But even just like going and swinging on a swing at a public park can be really joyful, and just like this small act that didn't cost any money that brought more playfulness and more feelings of alive and like gratitude and wonderment to my day. And it was just such a small thing to do. A lot of times I think that animals can do that too. I'm being drawn to the fish here. So if you have a pet or have been considering getting a pet, that could be a really great way to bring more play into your life through looking at things through this open-hearted, childlike way, embracing creativity also. So any fun creative projects, they don't have to be this massive undertaking. It literally could just be like an adult coloring book that's everywhere right now. For me, I like to just get out some really nice sharp colored pencils and just get after an adult coloring book. So let me know if you're into that too in the comments, or what what alternate type of creative endeavors are you excited to pursue at this time. So just being open to new experiences and new emotions coming online, and just being really curious about that. And that could help. I mean, it's so funny how energy works. We're like, oh, I need to just think about this thing that's weighing me down, this one decision to make. But you never know how just taking a day or taking an hour away from that work or that decision that you have to make and going and doing something fun and creative could help move things energetically for you. So now you have the eyes to see the path forward, and the eyes of the heart here also, seeing through that lens. So dropping into that intuitive emotional center in the heart space instead of seeing with this logical mind, but rather to see what's possible, this portal of what's possible here. And in your outcome, we have the Strength card, which is amazing. I love this card. It's facing your fears. It's showing up every day despite being afraid. It's like these fears, these internal fears that we have, which is what we were talking about with the Six of Inspiration, this fear of being seen or putting yourself out there. That could even be for some of you with relationships too. Fear of putting yourself out there again. This is your sign to put yourself out there and show up. So, how can you dig deep and find that inner fortitude to face your challenges bravely? Because you do have the strength to overcome these self-limiting beliefs, this self-doubt, or any self-imposed restrictions too. I feel like for most of you, this is again just like both of these cards are signaling that there's some self-limiting beliefs here. Like you're tying yourself up and not in your mental space. So I love the advice of the Page of Emotions here and the outcome, saying like you absolutely have the strength to push past these self-limiting beliefs and to take action. You have the resilience needed to navigate through these difficulties, and you're going to emerge stronger on the other side. All right, let's go ahead and pull a clarifying oracle card to get a little bit more information here for card number 2. Card number 2. What can you tell us about the lesson that they're moving through right now? Repetition. Sometimes in order to move forward, you must repeat situations in order to learn important lessons. Patterns, routine, habits. Yeah, it feels like that is speaking to this too, because the story of this card is that she's showing up every day to face her fears. So even if you feel like, well, I've been facing my fears, I've been putting myself out there, sometimes we're coming back to the same lessons in a deeper, deeper way. It doesn't mean we haven't learned them necessarily, but we might be really learning them more deeply this time around. Getting more and more to the heart of it here, right? Peeling back more and more layers of this onion. All right, finally, we're going to end with a message from the Lightworker Oracle card deck. And if my style of reading resonates with you and you want to dive deeper into your specific situations, I do offer personal readings at this time, and you can find that info in the description box. This is a new channel, so if you did receive any helpful insights or clarity from this reading, please like, share, and subscribe for readings every week. All right, card number 2. Final message for card number 2, please. Oh yeah, I love this. It comes back to hold your center. Have you been rushing out to meet others, trying to bend or accommodate their needs at the expense of your own well-being and inner peace? Now you are to strengthen your own energy, your own boundaries, to find your ground, firmly place your feet there and do not move. Feel your feet anchoring you like a beautiful tree. Let yourself experience quiet certainty as you hold your center with commitment, courage, and consciousness. You are learning to trust in your own instincts, to take your own journey without comparison to the life path of another. There is no need to become disheartened or distracted by comparisons or judgments. The earth needs your light, which can only come from you. You will offer so much less if you try to make it match your beauty to what you perceive to be the beauty of another. Many souls who are different and unique were not understood, acknowledged, and valued for whom they were as children. Instead, they were encouraged to conform, to change, to be other than their true self in order to be loved. This can be a hard pattern to break. Yet the time is here for you to love and honor yourself as yourself. You are beautiful. You do not need to change for another. You certainly do not need to change for the divine. You are being encouraged instead to distill your essence to become even more of you. Hold your center now and do not be rattled by any other through intimidation, confrontation, doubt, jealousy, or fear. To hold your center means you accept your innate value and worth, your right to exist and thrive, and accept the love that created you as you in order to fulfill your divine destiny. This oracle brings you confirmation you are on the right path. You do not need to collapse into fear or doubt to ease old guilt or make others more comfortable. It is not selfish or hard of you to be strong. You can hold yourself in high esteem and be gentle and loving to others, whilst absolutely refusing to accept any behavior, belief, or attitude of another that would tear you down or cast you into doubt or self-hatred. As part of your spiritual training, your soul learned to be open, to receive guidance and channel healing. This is what you needed to be able to function as a healer, channel, and light worker. You had to be sensitive, receptive, and open. Now is the time to balance that with resilience, strength, and even some divine stubbornness. Refusing to give up on who you are, whilst remaining open to guidance, is the balance of loving wisdom and grow yourself as a divinely unique individual in a world that fears true individuality, simply because it cannot be easily controlled. Holding your center doesn't mean that you no longer surrender. Instead, you consciously choose to surrender into divine love and grow more empowered. You are here to shine a light, to be the lighthouse for others. The lighthouse doesn't ask permission to shine. It stands still, shines faithfully, and those who need it are guided by its light to safety. Do not lose faith in yourself, beautiful soul. You know who you are. Be strong. Honor your inner beauty and your personal boundaries. You need to feel safe in your ability to say no as much as you need to know that you will say yes when your heart guides you to do so. Be true to you. Wow, this is so spot on for this reading of moving past these self-limiting beliefs, this conditioning of society, and being certain in your worth and your value, what you have to offer. And I'll go ahead and hold this here if you want to take a picture of this screenshot of this invocation, if you want to dive deeper into this later on. Otherwise, I will leave it there for you, sending you so much support, love, and light on your journey. And I'll see you in the next reading. Bye for now. Hello, card number 3. If you chose the third card out of the 3 on this lapis lazuli heart, then this message is for you. So I went ahead and pulled a card in advance representing the general theme for what lesson you're moving through, and I channeled a message for you about that card. So I will kick things off by reading that to you. Then we will pull some more tarot to dive in a little bit deeper into those energies. We will then pull a clarifying oracle card to clarify, and we will end with a Lightworker Oracle card. So for you, number 3, we have the Fool. The Fool. This is an advantageous time for new beginnings for you. In the context of lessons that you're moving through, it could be challenging for you to take risks towards the potential for something new and exciting in your life. It could feel vulnerable to trust in the universe, to have faith that the journey is worth embarking on, despite uncertainty of the terrain ahead. This energy calls you forward with childlike wonder, naivete, and spontaneity, to embody a free spirit open to magic available to us in every present now moment. You may have been stuck in analysis paralysis, and this is your sign to make a move, to take inspired action, and trust the universe to orchestrate on your behalf and meet you halfway. How can you release anxiety over what could be and embrace the power of now? This energy beckons you to begin your passage towards self-discovery and exploration, unencumbered by societal expectations or conditioning of the past. Lean into joy with an open curiosity and open heart. The time is now. Love this. Who doesn't love a new beginning, fresh energy? Absolutely. All right, card number 3. What else can you tell us about the lessons that card number 3 is moving into? Lessons card number 3 moving into, please. We have the 2 of Voices in the past position, which is like the 2 of Swords in the traditional tarot. We have the Magician in your current energy. Love that. The next card after the Fool. Very interesting. The 9 of Inspiration, or the 9 of Wands in your challenge position. The 5 of Materials in your advice position. And the 2 of Inspiration in your final outcome. Very interesting. Okay, so in the past position, we have the 2 of Voices, which is like the 2 of Swords, which typically symbolizes a period of indecision, like a stalemate or being at a crossroads. Also, since she's blindfolded, she doesn't have the perception, the awareness to perceive a way out besides these 2 decisions or 2 paths forward. she can only see two paths forward, when usually if we can open our awareness, expand our awareness, we're able to see more than just two options before us. So with this being in your past position, you could have been learning a lesson about making decisions or learning to trust your intuition. So this perhaps is signifying that you were able to learn to trust your intuition, to trust yourself. So yeah, this is also what perhaps you were able to shift your perspective, expand your awareness, and that's what's inspiring you to take this leap of faith now. Or you're considering taking this leap of faith, rather, because the lesson here could be maybe you're having a hard time taking the leap of faith, right? So this could kind of be signifying like the way to break free from this indecision is to take a leap of faith and maybe travel down a road that doesn't make sense to everyone else. So, this lesson could also have been about dropping out of the mind, because the voices are the voices in the mind, right? Especially with like this being an illusory type of card, the illusions of being stuck that can exist in our thought patterns, in our mind, in how we're perceiving a situation or a challenge in front of us. So learning to trust the voice of the heart, which is so much quieter. So that's why it takes so much more practice to be heard. It takes so much practice for us to quiet the voices of the mind so the voice of the heart can be heard. And in your current energy is the Magician, which I absolutely love. It's this card of manifestation, of resourcefulness, using all four of the elements here on her table, of creating all of this beautiful divine inspiration that she's in alignment with and bringing it here into this physical reality. It's taking action to create the reality that she is dreaming of creating. So this being in your current energy, it's realizing what skills and talents do you have at your disposal, realizing your personal power and understanding the impact that your thoughts, like we had here in the Two of Voices, that your thoughts have on creating your reality. And if this is in your current energy, it means that you're already working with the energy here, which is a beautiful thing to see. This is also about seeing truth versus the illusion, like the illusion that was present in your past energy with the Two of Voices. It's saying that you have everything here at your disposal to create what you're wishing to create. Taking that leap of faith, meeting with action, is as long as you're able to take that leap of faith towards realizing your goals, then you're able to create that reality. You have everything here available to you to make it so. And in your challenge energy, we have the Nine of Inspiration, which is like the Nine of Wands, which is like being really close to the finish line, of like this need for persistence, this need for resilience, for being prepared for the challenges ahead. So how can you, with this being in your challenge area, how can you recognize your own inner strength? How can you persevere through difficulties and understand that challenges are truly opportunities for growth? How can you create this challenge into a lesson? This also could indicate that you're feeling worn out. It feels like you've been through it. It feels like you've already overcome so much to get to this point. But understanding that you have already traversed this entire path and it's not for nothing. like all of the challenges that you've already faced, all of the obstacles that you've already overcome, they're going to continue to serve you in the future. No lessons ever learned were done in vain. Even if we can't see why at this point, like it will make sense down the road. And I feel like this, with in your advice position being the Five of Materials, is kind of echoing this challenge energy. Because traditionally the Five of Materials or Five of Pentacles is about scarcity, it's about hardship, it's about feeling like you're left out in the cold. It's like not able to see, like all you have to do is turn around and go inside this warm haven here. And so it's kind of like, again, that perception that you have nowhere to turn or you don't have other options when really you do. So with this being in your advice position is really interesting. I feel like it's about finding your resources from within while you're persevering through these hardships here, while you're continuing on. It's realizing the gold that you have within, finding those, and also asking for help. Like, this isn't just like, this is a church here. So the church providing assistance, it's there. All she has to do is turn and ask, and it will be given. So are you asking your spirit guide team? Are you asking your higher self for assistance? A lot of times they cannot help us unless we ask. They have this law of non-intervention. So are you asking for help? And if it's not from your non-physical team, how can you find some help with embarking on this new journey? How can you find some help from those that you have around you as well, from your loved ones? But understanding that you already are an abundant soul, you already have the abundance that you seek, and it may just look a little bit different than what you think you need, if that makes any sense. Like you already have a wellspring of abundance within you. So if you can be the magician and take that wellspring of abundance that already exists within you, then you can create the type of financial abundance or material abundance that you're looking for. And in your outcome is the Two of Inspiration, which is a card, like it's a Two of Wands in the traditional tarot. It's a card of planning. It's a card of making decisions. It's like mapping things out, of having the vision and deciding where to go. Like she's scoping out where to go next, right? So it could involve, with the lesson here being looking ahead and making choices that align with your long-term goals and taking steps towards that desired future, towards that outcome. Again, taking the necessary steps, taking those leaps of faith, but doing it from this very precise planning, logical standpoint. First we do the logic, and then the logic backs up the intuition, right? And then we take the inspired action. Yeah, I feel like this reading is about learning to trust yourself, embracing challenges as opportunity, and finding that abundance from within, making choices that align with your vision, with your long-term vision, and that's going to lead to the realization of your goals and assured success. Let's pull a clarifying card here to get a little bit more, clarifier card to get a little bit more information. For card number 3, please. Can you tell us about the lesson that they're moving through here? Card number 3. Okay, this one just hopped out of my deck. Planning phase. Take a step back and plan the necessary steps to move forward so you can turn your goals into reality. Strategy, research, plotting. So I feel like this planning phase is going to give you the confidence to take the leap too. Like you're building the confidence through the excitement and like this buildup of energy here, this buildup of energy here, to plan and to realize that you have everything from within you. So just making sure that you're moving forward with that place of like knowing and confident that you're trusting in the universe. Awesome. Finally, we'll end with a Lightworker Oracle card, and if my style of reading resonates with you, you want to dive deeper into your specific situation, I do offer personal readings at this time, and you can find that info in the description box. This is a new channel, so if you received any helpful insights or clarity from this reading, please like, share, and subscribe for readings every week. All right. Card number 3, final message, please. Final message for card number 3. Ooh. Karmic clearing. You are fast outgrowing a level of consciousness to which are attached to particular wounds, issues, and struggles. As you outgrow that consciousness, these issues will release their grip on you. You are receiving divine notice that karmic clearing is taking place through a combination of your own efforts and spiritual grace from the heart of the divine. It is time for an old wound to be released once and for all. Karma is not a punishment. Karma is essentially our soul's lesson plan for this lifetime, carried over from past lifetimes. It is the way we grow and develop as a soul, sometimes through challenges and sometimes through blessings. Our positive karma is seen in the skills and talents we have mastered over many lifetimes. Also, when opportunities flow easily and healing happens swiftly, there is a sense of positive karma, an easy grace that effortlessly takes place in your life. This is what happens when we are clear enough of our own past pain to have little resistance between us and the natural flow of life. More challenging karma is revealed in the lessons we are still learning. These usually appear in the guise of painful circumstances or reactions that repeat themselves in our lives. The stronger the soul, the more challenging the lesson it is willing to master this lifetime. Let me say it again. The stronger the soul, the more challenging the lesson it is willing to master this lifetime. As with any education, the higher the level of training, the more demanding the work. When you are working through big challenges, it is often a sign that you are on an advanced spiritual path. Must you always have a struggle in your life as an advanced soul? Of course not. As you master your lessons, you will find you develop an ability to live your life more peacefully. However, it would be incorrect to interpret a struggle as a sign that you are not progressing spiritually. Sometimes the more painful a struggle has been, the more difficult it can be to release that pain and associated memories or scars. The spiritual worlds know you are in need of divine intervention to help clear a pattern that was once painfully lodged in your body, mind, and soul. Enough of the struggle. Divine love now offers healing and freedom. We clear karma by learning to trust and relax, by choosing not to punish ourselves with shame, guilt, fear, or unworthiness, by continuing to balance our efforts with a surrender into divine grace. We take responsibility for our own healing, doing all that we can, and trusting that the universe will lovingly and effectively handle everything else so that we can progress and succeed. If you've been struggling with a long-term issue, this oracle card comes as a particular sign that the universe wants to step in and assist you. Repeat the invocation below for at least 6 days and nights. Invite this healing blessing of karmic clearing through love into your life now. So for that invocation that they want you to repeat for 6 days and nights, it's right here, so you can go ahead and take a screenshot. Awesome. And I feel like this just summarized everything so effortlessly that we've been speaking about through this entire reading. You have all of the resources within you. You are a wellspring of abundance, what you're moving through now, you are capable of overcoming, and wishing you so much support, love, and light on your journey. And I'll see you in the next reading. Bye for now.